Scary personal experiences. According to Reddit. Number 16. I was in a bus that crashed into a house. I was trying to nap after a late night flight when suddenly the bus shook. So I opened my eyes and saw us going off the road. We knocked down a small tree and then collide with a house. There was a strong smell of gas, so we believed the bus was going to explode. We all had to get out through the fire escape window. I cut my hand on broken glass. Thankfully, the bus did not explode, and everyone got out with only minor injuries. Nobody was home, so I guess that's good. Damn. Here's hoping nobody in here ends up in something as terrifying as a collision, followed by potential explosions. Number 15. 6 weeks in an induced coma. I woke up 6 weeks later in a strange hospital, but I couldn't speak or move. I thought I was in hell. Holy shit, it's like a creepypasta. Somebody asks, what happened to cause this? And he responds, a horrible virus like COVID, but deadlier. Damn, baby. Do we even want to know? That one seemed kind of short. I'll go down to 17. A bird built a nest under the roof above my room. Every day you could hear baby birds chirping while trying to sleep. As time went on, eventually the chirping stopped, which was great. Finally, I can sleep. Wake up days later to find your room infested with adult bird mites. They're crawling over every inch of your body. Extremely traumatizing. I bombed the room several times and had a fear of birds ever since. Since the guy didn't specify what he means, of course, he bombed the room with pesticides. You know, gotta get him the hell out of there. Birds are just rats with wings. I guess it's easy to forget. Number 14. When I think of the scariest event, a lot of things come to mind, but one of the things that scares me to this day was in first grade. I'm walking home, and my family and I live in an apartment, so my bus would drop us off, and we'd walk to our apartments from there. I'd gone into the building from the most convenient door and climbed the stairs to the second floor. I had to cross to another side, but as I was doing that, the door opened to this old man. Out of nowhere, he started talking to me, asking me if I liked fries. He was asking me if I wanted to come inside his apartment to have some fries. Thankfully, I was wary of strangers, and I just told him that I had to get home. When I told my mom, she started crying and hugging me. I never realized that could have been my last day. As a free man, anyway. He would have used you. I hope nobody passing likes fries. Look at this bullshit over here. What the talking about? Might have had a problem. As we continue to number 13, 40 years ago I get home very drunk. It's late at night. The police had my house staked out, waiting for me and tackle me in the driveway and take me to jail for burglary and attempted rape. I spent 3 days in jail before they figured out that I was innocent and just cut me loose about an hour from my home without my wallet, which they still had at the county jail that I was originally booked into. I didn't have a cent on me, but I was sure happy to be out. Oh my God. I don't think there is anything scarier than just having the bullies that call themselves police show up and apprehend your ass with no evidence. It's pretty hardcore, huh? Take everything you got, put it in a box, too stupid to even transport that box of belongings with you when you go to a new facility, and then they toss you out onto the street. No phone, no money, no care. Where's the love? Oh, damn, police. Scariest thing on the entry already. Damn. Number 12. Confronting a guy that was literally trying to break into my apartment. We scuffled for 2 to 3 seconds, and luckily, he fled. Boy, I like to think that some people who break in are extremely brave because they don't know what kind of surprise is waiting for them. Surprise. Ooh. A hello and creepy welcome to Queen, the scariest person in the stream. Ooh. So spooky. Number 11. I came home one night after hanging out at a friend's house a few years ago. After I was sitting in my house alone for a few minutes, I heard screaming and crying coming from the neighbors. Apparently, their teenage son heavily overdosed, and they found him dead on his bed with foam coming out of his mouth. The ambulance came, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. I didn't know my neighbors very well, but it was a pretty chilling experience. Number 10. Getting the phone call from my partner's best friend that he had been hit by a car. I lived on the other side of the country at the time, but luckily we had already planned a visit and I was getting on a plane to go there in a few hours. His best friend was on the phone with him when he was hit. Managed to figure out what had happened, what hospital he would likely be taken to. Then he contacted me, picked me up, and took me to the hospital. I can't imagine what he heard on the phone, but I'm so glad that he has such an amazing best friend. Yeah. Some people don't survive car accidents. I hope everyone understands how lucky they are. Here's hoping everybody's having a chilling evening. I know just the thought of some people might send a shiver down your spine. They could be out there. They could be in there. No, don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Big titty action. Galaxistar says, I remember when I was over my big sister's place. Her kids, and boyfriend walked to the carnival. I stayed at the house to watch some anime like a nerd. I kept feeling like something was behind me. I turned, but there was no one there. It felt uncomfortable, a bad feeling. A moment later, Mom called to tell me that my stepbrother, Auntie, died. I'm so sorry. Stepbrother, aunt, died. Holy crap. Number 9. My now deceased father pointed a gun at me when I was a teenager and we were arguing. Sounds like a really stable individual. It was over a dog that kept getting out. Anytime someone got close, he would run even faster. When we finally got him, my dad pulled his pistol and pointed it at the dog, yelling about how if it doesn't behave, that he would just shoot it. I challenged him, and he pointed the gun at me. It was the longest moment of my life. On the bright side, as a 120-pound woman, I've never been more scared of any man than him. And he's dead now. Seems you had the last laugh. He'll just rot in his cold, cold grave. If you'd like notifications of when this stream occurs, join the Discord. Links in the description below. Number 8. When I was around 11 years old, my dad, brother, and I were hanging out at a neighbor's house. My brother was around 9 years old. The neighbor's girls were probably around 4 or 6, and their dad was quite the alcoholic and drug addict. I was downstairs, watching TV, with the other kids, when we hear a huge slam on the door. And welcome to the jam. According to my dad, at this point the girl's father had grabbed his wife by the hair and dragged her across the floor. Being who he is, my father intervened. I remember running out of the room where we were to my dad, and this guy is rolling down the stairs. What? He kept rolling. My dad was able to pin this guy to the wall. His face was covered in blood, and he screamed for me to get all of the kids and get out of the house now. I was petrified, especially after seeing my dad's face with blood on it. It was pouring rain. I grabbed my brother and the girls and we all ran outside. No shoes, nothing. Their mom was nowhere to be found, but there was a cop car sitting at the top of the driveway. The kids and I all run up there and got into the back where the girl's mom was waiting, just bawling her eyes out. We're waiting in the car while my dad was almost shot, trying to explain to the officers that he wasn't the guy that they were looking for. Shit, it's a good thing he wasn't black, because he would have instantly been killed. That's the motherfucker right there. What do you mean? You see blood on him? Blood? Just shoot him. I'm kidding. After the arrest, am I kidding? After the arrest was made, my family went back to our house to sleep. At around 2 a.m., my dad woke up my brother. He wakes me up as well, saying that we need to go because our neighbor was released from the drunk tank. We all jump into the car, drive to my grandparents' house 2 hours away, and then we moved after that. Only going back to the house for our belongings. Not much compared to some of these. But it was a lot for an 11-year-old like me to handle. Now, the terrifying aspect of this story is that these people wrestled in a struggle that potentially could have led to someone's death. And if you've ever been in a fight to the death, you know what it's like. You may be a good guy and decide you're only going to incapacitate the other person. But sometimes in the midst of that action, you are fighting for your life. There is no, oh, I better be careful not to knock them unconscious because if the police show up, they're going to think one thing. You fight for your life and you handle whatever the hell comes next later. The scary aspect of this situation is they released the bastard. And you have to wonder, did they call the dude to give him a heads up to say, hey, we're letting him out? Or did the guy have to keep calling to make sure that he was still there, only to then find out that he had actually been released? And then using his brain, he decided to scoop up his little kids and leave. It's crazy to think how many scenarios probably end in the police coming and picking somebody up, only to let them go later, so that they can go and finish the business that they started. Be careful. Justice doesn't usually have a way of being served. Number 7. Saving a woman's life. I was walking past buildings and the building's pool on the way home from the parkade when a guy flags me down and yells, "I think she's drowning." I remember very little of what happened next, but I pieced together that I ran like hell to get there. I jumped in fully clothed, phone in pocket, grabbed her from the front. Hot tip, don't grab a drowning person from the front, they will climb you, and got her out of the pool. I was in no danger, but after the crisis was over, fear washed over me like I could not believe. I cried in the shower for an hour until I finally calmed down. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. What a hero. Selflessly diving in to save somebody's life, to save someone potentially in danger. What they don't tell you about saving someone who is drowning is that they are drowning. They are frantic. They are terrified. They believe that they are going to die. And much like a person trying to catch somebody falling out of a tall building, if you try to catch them, just like if you try to save this person drowning, there's a big chance that both of you could die. Be careful. Ping pong. Number 6. My 6'2", 300-pound, now ex-husband, decided I wasn't allowed to leave him. For reference, I'm 5'4" and 155 pounds. I'd been out with my friends one night and had 2 out of touch, and was too out of touch for his liking. I came home to ugly accusations and verbal abuse. Unfortunately, I decided in that moment that telling him I wanted a divorce was a good idea. As soon as I said divorce, he escalated. I still don't understand how, but I survived strangulation, smothering, dragging, and all kinds of other physical assault while our kids slept in the next room. Thankfully, my neighbors heard me screaming for help and called the police. He went to jail for 3 days and is still in deep legal shit. But as of last week, my divorce is finalized. Nearly a year of nasty legal battles and PTSD, and panic attacks and single parenting, and I am free. 2020 has been a hell storm, one after another. But it's also given me my freedom. For Kyle, the scariest part of 2020 is a lack of good weed and the fact that everybody's getting paid but me, baby. Why can't I get unemployment? So scary. Number 5. I've told this story before, like we asked. I was home alone ago. That's right. Age 12. Playing video games in our garage that we had converted into sort of a chill area. I hear my brother calling out for me from the attic. He's doing so repeatedly, so I go up the ladder. Mind you, he sounds panicked. After I get up there, I locate his voice coming from a box. It's just a yak back, which has got to be some kind of walkie-talkie fucking bitch. What the fuck is a yak back? I'm not Googling that. Scary motherfucker. I figure he must have pre-recorded it, and it was malfunctioning. It was then that I realized my brother had been dead for 15 years. I'm kidding. Then I feel, because this kid's only 12 years old, can you imagine your brother's been dead for 15 years? You recognize his voice, he's calling you by name. What's really going on? How could he know? Oh my God, that's my brother's now. How did I know that? Okay. I feel a sense of dread, like I'm about to die. And then the light bulb pops. Almost broke my leg running out of there. I sat in the driveway until my parents came home. My brother swears to this day he didn't even remember recording it. I mean, it's all easily explainable coincidences, I'm sure. But that's the most terrified. But that's the most terrified I've been. And I've been held at gunpoint in a gas station. In a gas station? Holy shit, that's scary. Gunpoint most places, okay. Shut the hell up. Okay. Number 4. Damn it. While driving down the highway, is that what this is? With my friends, we were clipped by a car changing lanes. We were sent into a spin and ended up in the fast lane facing the wrong direction. I was in the back seat and still remember the sight of the cars coming to a sudden brake to prevent us from being in a head-on collision. I'm glad that they stopped. Was justice served for the bastard who clipped you? Someone responds. I was actually in something very similar to this, was clipped on the back bumper, and it sent me spinning into head-on traffic, and was hit head-on top of a hill. My sister passed away in the passenger seat, while I woke up outside of the car, laying on the side of the road with all of my front teeth knocked out and a broken femur and jaw. The lady who hit us head on had internal bleeding And the man who clipped our bumper actually refused treatment and later killed himself because he was drunk behind the wheel and killed a 15-year-old girl. Well, as they say in my language back home, fuck them. You know what I mean? It's one thing you're running into people in the back and causing the death of a bunch of people, but you're drunk too? Jesus Christ. This person died in a drunk driving accident. And he was the drunk driver. Look how his family chose to bury him. Isn't that funny? Isn't that like ha-ha, you know? Waka waka, you know? You know? You know, does he deserve a burial? Does he deserve attention? I know that's your family member, and, you know, I doubt that you guys just want to burn him up or something. But maybe that's what he deserves. Maybe I don't even want to see this picture. You guys making a joke, making a meme out of this asshole who got into a wreck. Here's only hoping that nobody else was harmed. But we shouldn't, like, celebrate the life of some fuckboy. Because the tree that had to be felled to make a coffin for your cunt ass, the money that was spent on you could have gone to a charity, if not, you know, some kind of rehabilitation program that helps people who are struggling with being an alcoholic come to terms with that. Sick. And the world we live in, as far as the society in America, it celebrates these people. People get into drunk driving situations, they're under the influence, and you know what? Our system gives them a slap on the wrist and tells them to take a class and get back behind the wheel. You're fine. You're fine. Some people have a collection of drunk driving, you know, infractions. But weed is super illegal. I'm talking Schedule 1, serious business. Fuck these people. If there's one scary thing I want to pass on to you in this list, it's that you rub elbows with assholes like this who are so selfish that they will, without hesitation, jump behind the wheel after they've had anything to drink. And fuck them. Continuing up, we arrive at number 3. I'd gotten my first apartment back in 2006. It was a 1-bedroom upstairs with a side entrance that had steps leading up to my door. You had to walk through 2 doors to access it, a private entrance, if you will. Access it, a private entrance. Anyway, I'm living alone for 6 months before my fiance moves in, was working 2 jobs to maintain rent, etc. Started noticing my door. Tommy. You named your door? My door Tommy entrance would be left open despite being locked. The apartment had also a basement area carpeted that served as a sort of laundry storage room. About 3 months into living there, I kept hearing footsteps at night. I couldn't explain it. I'd be woken up by the door creaking slowly. I thought I was just being paranoid until one night I looked out my window and saw a lady standing in the parking lot, staring at my window. I thought nothing of it. Like maybe she was looking for the person downstairs or something. You know? No big deal. Long story short, my landlord never changed the locks or gave me an updated key. This woman was the prior resident. I woke up one night to grab a Gatorade to rehydrate, when out of nowhere, someone sprints past me from the kitchen, shoulder checks me, and bolts downstairs. I thought nothing of it. I'm kidding. No, I had no camera, no footage, so I didn't call the police, but I immediately called my landlord and demanded the locks to be changed. Oh yeah, now, you know what I mean? You're really putting your foot down now, you know what I mean? I explained what had happened. He apologized profusely, even sent me a $50 gas card, and $100 was off my next month's rent. The locksmith Kane, interesting name for a locksmith, comes the next morning. Whilst at work, landlord leaves a note explaining this. Remember the side door downstairs that I told you about, that leads to a laundry room? Oh yes, the door that you named Tommy. Well, the prior tenant was a 29-year-old woman that was actually living downstairs and had been sneaking into my apartment with her then working key every night, stealing my food and even sitting in my couch. Jeez, you think you're getting a place to stay without the other person leave? You just need to steal their food? What kind of small titty shit is that? Y'all girls need to get some sense in you, there. I found this out because the landlord found her in a storage closet. She tried running past him and he tackled her to the ground. It's a 30-year-old woman. She was the one who got spooked when I awoke suddenly and shoved me to conceal who she was. Scariest shit ever. I don't understand how y'all don't walk from room to room with a weapon when you find somebody in your crib. You don't check the locks, check the interiors of the closets. Somebody just in the middle of the night stealing your food and chilling on your couch and you don't notice. It's like you don't even live there. Why even get a place with a bunch of rooms if you're just gonna be in one all the time? Number 2. The birth of my stepson. No, wait, it says son. Sorry. Sorry, I guess it was too scary for me to read properly. Kids, am I right? My wife had to have a C-section when our oldest son was born. So she had some complications with the pregnancy when she had my son. One night she comes out of the back after dinner and says she's bleeding. Call the doctor and the doctor says, no more monkeys. The doctor says to get to the hospital as soon as possible. I dropped everything I was doing and went. I dropped my wife with the nurses at the front of the hospital and parked my car. By the time I made it inside, they had 2 lines in her and was prepping her for emergency surgery. I was able to walk with her to the door of the operating wing, but they told me I could not come. I spent 3 hours pacing in the waiting room when a nurse finally comes out and told me my wife died on the table twice. The complications caused her uterus to rupture during the C-section and she lost 7 units of blood. They more or less had her stabilized after removing her uterus and she was in ICU recovery, still could not see her. I asked about my son. He inhaled a mouthful full of amniotic fluid on his way out and was in the NICU under observation. Jesus Christ, they don't tell you about the amount of complications that can happen. This is crazy. A couple of more hours, they finally let me see my wife because she was partially awake and screaming for me. The idea that a person can't even see someone they love. when the potential isn't strong that they're going to blink out of existence. It's a reality because maybe, oh maybe, it's already fucking happened, but they can't be there. She spent 2 days in the ICU, 4 days in trauma recovery, 5 in inpatient while she stabilized. My son was okay after 4 days in the NICU. Her doctor told us flat out that the trauma her body went through was equal to being hit by a train. All in all, she had 9 units of whole blood, 8 units of plasma, 5 units of platelets transfused before she was finally stabilized. Saw the doctor last year as a customer at my work, walked over and gave her the biggest hug in the world and thanked her for again giving me my wife back. I'll never forget her and will always be thankful for that amazing woman. And here goes some dumb bitch on Facebook.
Y'all should just have a baby in the pool in your living room now. Come on. You ain't a real woman unless you're having a baby in an inflatable pool in the living room. That's how I saw on YouTube you could do it.
The scary part is, not only is she flat-chested, okay, but she absorbs everything that she hears based on a podcast from a woman that has a tramp stamp. No disrespect, ladies, but maybe, just maybe, you should have better sources of information. Nice. As we continue, we arrive at number 1. I walked in on my father strangling my mother in the living room. After violently snuggling her and beating her almost unconscious. Both were naked, so that was especially unpleasant. I was 14, had been at my friend's, and they'd been divorced for several years. Apparently, he was banging her around on child support again, and he'd blackmailed her. He'd give her money, but only if she banged him. I ended up having to shoot him. Normally, when he was beating her, I could just go next door to my aunt's and she could get him to stop, but I wasn't sure my mom would have been alive by the time I got the aunt over this time. Had it been over the guns, had it been one of the guns I was used to, I would have gotten him in the back as I'd intended. But the closest one was an older gun that I'd never used before, and I ended up shooting him in the thigh. He didn't die, unfortunately, but not for lack of trying. And why'd you stop? I beat the daylights out of him with a broom. Let me say something. I forgive me, I'm trying to, dedicate myself to this list in a way where I'm getting through it so that if somebody just wanted some spooky bing bongs, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you walked in on your father, who has been divorced from your mother, strangling your mother, it's time for action, baby. It's all action time. You know what I'm talking about? The first thing that you're going to say is, Jesus Christ, is this foreplay? You know what I mean? And if your dad don't loosen his grip, then get ready. It's go time. Do you know what I mean? When it becomes clear that this is not something that they are both consensually doing, maybe, just maybe, it's enough. You ain't gonna stop to be like, let me go get my aunt to handle this. You need to neutralize this situation. Do you want your mommy to live or not? And I know the world is funny. You could probably be in a situation where you saved a mom and she's still mad at you. Because let's face it, either you're living in a dream world where you have like a perfect mom who's somehow reasonable and logical and happy, you know what I mean? Or just maybe you have a typical mom who's going to be mad at you regardless of whether you do the right or the wrong thing. So why not put this dude down? You out here shooting one time in a leg, okay? The Kyle channel does not condone murder, but it does condone defending your family against aggressors. Because this is wild. Terrifying and sad. Against her will. Terrifying and sad.
Slap it on some toast.
Why, thank you, dog mom. I like to think that maybe you can be my mommy, since I am a dog. Stupid. I beat the daylights out of him with a broom until my aunt stopped me. It sounds really shitty, but not shooting him again is probably one of the biggest regrets in my life. You damn right, homie. You know what I mean? You damn right. So here's the bottom line. I don't know if any of you have been in a scenario where you've had to defend yourself against another human in a way that you know was, what's the word? There's a word for it. The word is, what do you call it when you make another man feel like less of a man? You are somethinging them. What's the word? Like when you reduce another person in a way where they feel like less of a man. Emasculating. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate you. Now, I've been in scenarios where I have emasculated other men to the point where I knew that I need to make myself gone in a way where they never see me again. I need to make sure they never find out where I live, because they will live their life trying to feel better than the way that I've made them feel in this moment. There are scenarios with other people where things have gotten so bad where if you don't take care of this shit, you will feel the anxiety for the rest of your life that you need to essentially be sleeping with one eye open. Now, your mom, she's still fucking with this dude. You know what I mean? She got guns, but she hasn't used them. This guy has come back. She knows what kind of dude this guy is. And she most certainly has had the opportunity to defend herself against him, but she hasn't. Maybe it's just not in her heart because she's an emotional broad and doesn't have the heart to do the kind of thing that comes with standing up for yourself and defending yourself against somebody taking advantage of you in a way where it is not consensual. And if they disregard your, what you want, your desires, in a way where it's like you don't even exist, because selfishly all you exist as is a way for me to feel a certain way, bruh, it's not gonna get better. So if you're gonna shoot him, why not finish it? It's people like this that just are looking to die. Now, the dude says that man, he is dead now, thankfully, was a monster. And the reason I'm super thankful that the guy is dead is that maybe, just maybe, he would have come back to finish the job. Do you know what that would do to this guy? This guy is already the type that is abusing women physically, my dude. This is a dude that doesn't take no for an answer. And of course he's going after women because he's a chicken shit pussy piece of shit. He's getting away with it with your mom because she's not going to stand up for herself. She has weapons, but she refuses to use them. He's doing this with her because he knows he can get away with it. You stood up to him. Whether you're a girl writing this story, whether you're a man writing this story, you stood up to them, and you are in more ways than your mother and equal for him. That shouldn't just piss him off, it should terrify him. And he'll take advantage of that, and I'm surprised that you made it out alive. You can't wound somebody like that, because it'll make them crazy and they'll come back for you. This isn't a movie. There's no moral high ground here where he's gonna learn a lesson from this. Learn a lesson, nigga. You walk in on somebody strangling and beating somebody after having physically abused them, and you're just like, let me wing them. Why you stop? That's my, oh my God. The Guile channel does not condone murder, but watch yourself, man. Some people do not align themselves to morals and ethics the way that you do. You know, it has nothing to do with them. Some people are just living, waiting for the opportunity. And when they get it, they're going to take it. When they get it, they're going to take it. This boy is lucky. I wonder how he died, and I'm kind of curious. And I want to see if somebody asks. You know, it may be kind of, what's the word? Personal. Give me a second. Blackest Hearted is their name. Hiding that. How you standing over somebody beating their ass and you ain't worried that they coming back for you? You know, how you standing over somebody that just messed with your mom like that and had their throat in their hands? You know, because if you had the courage, I guess you're a little kid. Whatever, get over it, Kyle. That's the end of it. I just hope that it's not the fact that they're a child, that they were scared. I hope that it's not the fact that that they thought they might learn. Because some people are past learning. Look, boys. Marvel's Avengers had a patch that everybody thinks is going to save the game. They think it's going to make the game less broken. The biggest issue with Marvel's Avengers is that they thought they could get away with 5 Avengers and that was going to be the end of it. Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, Iron Man. Is that enough? I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, we wanted Ant-Man, Wasp, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Doctor Strange. Who am I forgetting, bro? Maybe Quicksilver. That'd be hilarious. Whatever. Maybe in a year, this game won't suck balls. But if you look at the patch notes, which I'm going to show you right now, I want you to see how many times the word fix is in here. Fixed. Fixed, 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 fixed. Pretty sure the word fix is in here more than like 50 times, baby. It's none but fixes. Imagine releasing a game that broken. What a world. What a world, what a world. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you again soon. I hope you have an explosive night. Hope things make sense for you. Hope you stay out of trouble. It burdens us all to know that our Supreme Court justice has passed. But some people have probably some people have probably lived their entire life having nothing to do with the Supreme Court justice, and that's pretty messed up. This is a video of my roommate after she put cat poop in my washer and poured litter all over the house after I reported her for foster kittens that she was not taking care of. She's evil and I hope she gets famous. Oh my God.
Hi Mom, hi Dad.
Jesus Christ, you put cat poop in the washer? This bitch crazy. Why I get crazy roommates? Look how beefy she is. My God, a big girl, chest steel flat. Just the worst combination. What's happening? This lady look gargantuan. Got the crazy ass. Of course she a cat lady. Look at you about to start crying. You yelling? You putting cat poop in the wash? Damn. Built like a linebacker. What you gonna do? Come this way? Not today. Look, I hope she gets drafted for a good team. You see what I'm saying? Ah, jeez. What?
Harry P.
Harry Penis says, That's the girl that killed Joel. Yeah. That's the inspiration, dude. Yeah. Are you guys having a good night? Do you guys enjoy, a little bit of the and just let Kyle take you away? Veronica says, I literally only found out a few minutes ago when I opened up Instagram. Every post. Not a great time. You know what I found out today? So just to add a little bit of levity, that I heard TikTok is getting shut down on Sunday. How exciting is that? We did it, guys. We did it. Now these kids won't be able to shake their fucking titties around when they're below the right age. Damn it. What are you doing? These kids are inspiring people to jump up and be like, I'm gonna make cuties on Netflix. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And I've said it before and I'll say it again, okay? If some crazy ass 11-year-old bitch wants to jump up and start fucking shaking around like some shit she saw in a fucking, video, oh my God, terrifying enough, okay? But if you pick up a camera and start recording her, fucking yikes, my dude. But when you start distributing that, you better be a woman trying to get away with that. Oh, here come all the Kyle's a misogynist comments. Only a woman could get away with some shit like that. A fucking man could never record these little kids. And then be like, I'm making a feminist movie. Fuck off. Fuck off. Disgusting, my dude. You have to wonder if somebody paid Netflix to be so stupid, just to make a spectacle of itself, just to sabotage itself, shoot itself in the foot, my dude. I was telling Queen earlier today, this is like Michael Jackson dangling a baby off a balcony. Why are you doing this? Did somebody tell you to make a scene? To get everybody distracted? We got an election going on and it always seems to be about right now when things just get so wild. Even Hollywood wild. Hollywood's gross. Producers, money, people with wealth, they are disgusting. And they're not just like normal, depraved, testing the boundaries of what they can get away with disgusting. They are just like sick, kinky bastards that have to break the rules to get off. They're the types of gross that has been carried down for generations via tradition and ritual, where you're putting on robes and you're going out into a fucking, the woods and participating in these sacrifices, and you're burning people and you're fucking these animals and all kind of stupid shit like this. Like it's never enough. It's never too much. You can't imagine, my dude. You can't imagine. All I know is you don't have the sensibilities for it. You think you've seen depraved? You've been on a deep portion of the internet, so you think you've seen some shit, boy? The types of things that people do, then put on a suit and rub up against the shoulders of other people like they're normal. The thing you should be scared most of is the world in which you live, boy. But if we're all lucky, we can keep our heads down and live a long, fulfilling life without it being robbed by some asshole who's had too much to drink, by some bitch who's flinging poop into a freaking laundry machine. And Kyle is too real to get anywhere on YouTube. I think somebody earlier was like, I can't wait to see Kyle get to 36,000 subscribers. That shit ain't gonna happen, homie. And it's because, as far as the internet's concerned, this channel doesn't exist. And that's fine with me. I'm not trying to be in the eye like some Facebook, Instagram, loving person that's wasting time asking you to like this video or, share it, or here's my sponsors, and oh my God. It's an effect. This is a 3D effect. It's been painted onto a flat wall. The picture doesn't do it justice. It would be better if somebody were taking a video standing in front of the wall. You have to wonder if that kind of thing is available in the comment section. Oh my God.
5 times 3 money.
Damn it, YNK. I want to restore this money to you so that I need to send YNK something special. A big container in which him and I can build our future. I wish I could send him like let's say like a project for a 3D printer that can build like a space shuttle, and then it'll just fly to my house, you know? That'd be pretty gangster. Do you think if we ever tried to, because here's the thing, I've always had questions for people with drones, and it's like, how do you go anywhere without being scared that you're going to violate certain airspace? You know? Because, first of all, it's not saying like you're going so high or that you're doing anything illegal or that you shouldn't be anywhere. But the police, they do have a stick up their ass, and they're not the types of people to see anything and just be fine with it. So you need to really be in specific locations where you're trying to get away with using a drone, because yeah, it seems like you can just get away very quickly, right? But I don't know. How do expensive drones work, Dia? What's the range on some of these? The type of drone that would need to be able to go as far as we'd need for it to be able to go would be so expensive that we might as well just pay some asshole to go out there. You know what I mean? Like shit. And they're not just small either. They're like man-sized. We might as well be the military trying to get away with this.
That's why they're trying to, be the ones to use them for like deliveries and crap.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want nothing more than for us to prosper, to be safe, to reach the next level. Let me know what you're interested in, and let me know what you want. The Discord link has been provided, and I hope that you guys are eager for notifications for more, because I'll be here. He says, this week's been messed up. I hope that it gets better, and I hope everything makes sense. Again, it is good news that TikTok will be shut down. It'll be interesting to see what the next TikTok will be. Maybe I'll jump on that so we can take a look around and, oh man, see if it gets as gross as quickly. My God. YNK says fight reviews. I wish, dude. I wish. YouTube will jump on and say, oh, you're condoning violence, which is ridiculous. But if you do want fight reviews, I could mix something up and then post it over on BitChute. So, let me type that. Here is this. Go follow this if you aren't already. And I'll look some stuff up. See, find something that I have an actual reaction to and post that over there. And I hope that you guys will enjoy it, inevitably. I'll post it in the Discord as well. Guys, take it easy. Stay out of trouble. And I hope that I can do the same. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Shout out to my man YNK. Special thanks. And a shout out to the Queen. The Queen in real life and online. Here's a little bit of emoji with the bread. Some Kermit the Frog. A little bit of Lisa Simpson. You guys take it easy. Bye.